B2B media has changed, I think, radically, actually along with all media. The publishing world is completely different. The digital revolution has opened a whole bunch of new channels and opportunities for publishers to work. I think the other thing that I feel quite strongly about is that as a B2B marketer, I use a lot of media channels that are neither B2B nor B2C. And I would think about things like the Financial Times or The Economist or Wired, those kinds of magazines, which aren't particularly consumer. They're for people. They're for all of us. And so in addition to B2B media, which is hugely valuable, I also make good use of those. And I think that's a bit of a shift as well. B2B still matters. There's still a business audience that we have to go talk to. All of my customers are businesses or organisations. I don't have any consumers as customers. So I think the point is that how we reach them is maybe the interesting thing, and that we mustn't treat them as business people. We must treat them as people. And their buying behaviours will be different in different buying occasions, as an individual human being, as a citizen, consumer, as well. And so I suppose the point isn't that B2B doesn't matter. It's more that we need to stop thinking that business people are different somehow to consumers, because actually we are all one thing. The business buyer, the business consumer, if you like, is hungry for being able to access the information they need at work in exactly the same way as they access the information they want for their personal lives. It should be as easy to find out about a solution for your business as it is to find out what time the movie you want to see is on at your local cinema. B2B media absolutely continues to be pivotal in the buying decisions, in influencing the buying decisions, informing the buying decisions of the kind of customers that I serve. So it was, and I don't see any reason why it won't always be, as long as it stays ahead of the curve and takes advantage of all these new opportunities. So at a time when companies like IBM become publishers themselves, because we can, there is still a massive role to influence by the media organisations. A publication and the credibility they have, the independence that they have. I might be a very trusted advisor as IBM to a client, but they're probably still going to be smart enough to figure out that I have a vested interest in the decision they take. And so they're going to want to validate that with other trusted third parties, and a non-vested interest is typically a publication. The point of view you get through a publication typically doesn't have a vested interest, particularly in the B2B space. Maybe in the consumer space it's different because there'll be perhaps political bias or whatever, but in the B2B space there isn't a particular vested interest apart from to keep you engaging with that publication. Publishers can either carry on publishing on the web as if it was a printed page, as they were 20 years ago, 15 years ago, or they can completely take advantage of the brave new world. Once upon a time, we relied on media organisations to create content and publish it that people wanted to read, and therefore we could piggyback on that and place an ad alongside it. Now we have a much more integrated approach in the way that we work together, and the media organisations themselves are big time into the curation business. And so I think if we need to think about that highly interactive between ourselves as well as the readers and the audience, and really focus on that sort of curation and how do we make that work for us that's actually beneficial to you because it gives you credibility with your audience and helps us to reach out to more and more people and build the constituencies we need to.